Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Shout out to brother LTTV.
Shout out to LTTV.
Cooking your ass.
Crying to me, and I'm not having that.
I saw it in my own family where like my mom had the more stable job. My dad had his own company, and his money would always be going up and down, and there's always be fights. And there was sort of a respect thing that wasn't quite there, up to the point of him dying. Like the amount of disrespect that I saw my mom give my dad during his final months on this earth is the reason why we don't have a relationship.
Do you know that that's you're telling my story right now?
A man telling me that he's been married says nothing to me because marriage was made for men anyway. Marriage teaches women to tolerate a lot of trauma and dysfunction and put up with a lot of transgressions that men have.
When my father was
obsessed with just talking about it.
He was in little company married. He was sick. Now my father, my mother, my father's, my sister's not his, I'm not his, my other sister's not his, my brother is his. But I was born to him. I was born to him. When my father was sick in the hospital, it wasn't even little company married. My mother, my sisters were fighting with the doctors about the treatment my father would get. Yeah. And my mother said, they shouldn't be able to talk to him. They're not his real kids anyway. And he heard her say it.
So a man being married for 20, 30, 40 years only tells me that the woman tolerated a lot of abuse, a lot of mental and emotional turmoil for him to even say he's been married that long.
My mother is at a hospital in a rich white area in a bed by herself. My father died and left her everything. She has her bills paid off. She has money in the bank that they never would have had. And the way she treated him makes me not be able to see her.
Times. I don't care if we beefing, if I don't like you, whatever. If you saying what's right, you saying what's right.
Yeah, LTTV, Blunt Talk with LT, back at it with another video. All right, so this chat, this is not working. Let me get rid of this. All right, so let's get into the show, chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button upon entry. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. As you can see right now, we made some modifications to the show. We have the chat being able to be presented on the screen now, almost running like a StreamYards. And this is the role of a mod. Get the likes up, promote the show, share the links. I think some folks got very emotional from the title of the show, went on some long ass soliloquies, and y'all forgot y'all are mods. What are we doing out here? Y'all seen the title, y'all seen the thumbnail, you seen, okay, so a woman is getting criticized now, and all of a sudden we got this massive defense. What the hell is going on out here? We're not going to deflect from that. We're pulling up some of these comments, y'all. Lee, what is this?
What the hell was that?
What does this have to do with the show? What does this have to do with the arguments or anything? The show has not begun. The show has not begun. This is the mods. Not promoting the show, not supporting it. So if it's not according to your narrative, this is what's going on here. What are we doing out here? A-Lady 747. LTTV jumping into the gender war. So y'all will cheer on all day when I'm criticizing all the men in the world, but the second a woman is in the title, it's the gender war now. When I'm vehemently against that, I cook manosphere red pill folks for propagating the gender war, acting like it's all just dusty out here and it's despair for everybody out there. There's no hope in the dating sphere, so everybody has to move from this defensive, adversarial standpoint. I be cooking those folks. So when I call up the sisterhood, all y'all doing this, like, what are we doing here? The show has not begun. And this is the perfect show to actually do this in, because now I can actually pull up these chats. Hold up. What does this have to do with the show? What does this have to do with the show? Passport bro propaganda. We dealt with the passport bros. We had 3 shows about the passport bros in the last. Take the wrench. Okay, so you don't want to do the job. Okay, you can remove your wrench. You can speak freely without a wrench. So that kind of just shows that you're more here for your own thoughts to be propagated than to actually support the show. Thanks. Works for me. Works for me. Nah, because y'all be shitting all over my talking points. That's what it comes down to. When I sat there and I told the angry man when we're arguing back and forth, when I put him in the coon bin, talking about you need to stand up for your people once in a while, you'll have way more validity to speak to black women when you know that when they know that you have their best interest at heart. You're not propagating no gender war. You're putting them up on the correct pedestal when they deserve it. You're lamenting the bad behavior when it needs to be called out. You're for the community. You can do that. The title does not say, the subtitle says gender war with the arrow pointed towards Princella. Why does it say that? Because the sisterhood feeds right into the gender war. The same way the manosphere and the red pill feed into the gender war. Y'all are out here running a defense before you even hear the points that we're debating. You don't even know the premise of the show. This is going to be an hour-long show plus. You think one premise and one title is going to define the entire show? This is YouTube. You got to put a compelling title, compelling thumbnail to get the attention, folks. What are we doing out here? You could say you don't promote her whatsoever, but you got instantly on the defense, trying to point out passport bro stuff, flooding the Discord with passport bro stuff, saying, oh, look what they're doing here, but Oshay's X, Y, and Z, sharing all these links. It's like, what are we doing out here? We didn't get to the show. It's like, are y'all supporting the show, or do y'all only support me when I'm saying the thoughts that you kind of agree with and it aligns? Because that's what it comes down to. So, yep, Happy New Year.
God damn.
I'm not gonna pretend like you saying something wrong because I might have some sort of issue with you saying what's right. You saying what's right, and I'm gonna stand next to you as long as you're right. It is what it is. We can deal with our issue at another day. But in that moment, bro was kicking the facts. And like I said, everybody who know me know. Like, I started all this in this space, not the whole woke space, but in this space, I started that black woman is God shit. Nobody was saying that over here on me. Absolutely. I support the ladies. You know what I'm saying? I want to see them win. You know, I'm like Tommy, I want to see them win. But at the same time, we got to hold them accountable. That's why I talk about my relationship openly, because I want people to know these things they saying, they are real. I am with a woman who is half of everything these niggas talk about, and it drains the lifeblood out of me. But at the same time, I ain't got the bag, so I can't get rid of it.
Damn.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit
Hey,
like that.
real
shit
quick,
like
man. We about to wrap this shit up. I want to.
Ain't talking because it's train. It's a
been
train.
drinking.
I feel you. This motherfucker.
Liquid courage, baby. Liquid courage.
That's that Paul Masson. What's good, everybody?
Before we get into that, this is the point right here. Talking about your personal relationship on YouTube is nuts. I don't think that y'all understand that a lot of folks in the manosphere spaces, the panel world that these folks be talking on and discussing their issues with relationships, a lot of them are kind of projecting their issues out onto the world. We see this time and time again. We say this about many content creators. We even lamented this about Pearl. But he's speaking from a personal experience where he's trying to pretty much have the group align with his train of thought so he can get his woman aligned with the same train of thought, so it's easy for him to lead his relationship with this group leadership shit. And that's what the manosphere was developed on, because a lot of these guys are not really leading their own relationships. They're choosing poorly. They're going outside like academics and wondering why it all comes down to character. And that's what this episode comes down to. When we speak about what happened with Vlad's situation and what happened to DL Hughley. Because it's not a black woman situation, because Vlad's mother's clearly not black, his father's clearly not black. Two different experiences from two different places around the world, facing similar things with the way they seen their mother treating their father. And we're going to dissect it, we're going to speak about these things, and we're also going to speak about the terrible Princella talking points, because there's a cult going on out there. Folks try to align with that and jump in defense of all terrible talk. Hold up. Let's look at this real quick, because there's a problem, y'all. There is a serious problem here, and I have a problem with a lot of the folks and a lot of the people, a lot of the things that go on these internet talking spaces. Hold up, Chad. Too much times I'm seeing women on the internet that are unaccountable for the dustiest of the dusty behaviors that they see from other women, and they defend them, but they want to hide behind the mythological woman that is offline. The woman that I speak about, the women that I speak about that are offline, that don't engage in this fuckery, this attention, clout-seeking fuckery, they always want to hide behind those women and be like, there's good women, because I stand for those women and I speak about those women. So it's like they get online and they pretty much enact the same behaviors of the shit that's a detriment to the community, while trying to say, oh, men are just coming at women for no reason, X, Y, and Z, but they want to defend the Krishan Rocks of the world. They want to defend this shit. Hold up. Let me pull this up. What do y'all think about this? Because women want to cook Austin Holloman 24/7. I'm not Austin Holloman's defense lawyer. I definitely cook him for the bullshit that he be doing. But it gets to an extent where it's like inordinate. They want to end the man's life. He's 24. They give Sneeko all sorts of excuses. Nobody wants to actually stand on principle and be consistent. Y'all are the same folks that will defend Destiny all day. And I pulled up and I showed all the shit that Destiny's done. Nobody wants to hold Destiny to any same standards that they hold Pearl to, but they allow that because they play favorites. And people want to talk about standing on principle. Man, everyone's full of shit. You got to keep it a stack. But let's get into this.
And say I'm never f***ing you again. I'm not f***ing nobody. Why are you still here?
Why are you kicking me out like that, bro?
You leaving regardless. I'm not kicking you out. Because I don't want to. You're crazy. You are. Okay, bye. Yo, this nigga is fucking crazy. Yo, y'all. I won't be surprised if that nigga come trying to burn my motherfucking door down. Let me tell y'all what happened, right? I'm mad because me and this nigga in the bed, this nigga going nut. Not even 2 minutes put like 2 strokes in, and that nigga going nut. So I'm pissed off. Like, why the fuck you playing with me? Then the got fucking nut, and I'm just like, I'm done. I don't want to give me a hug if you love. He said, give me a hug if you love me. Why the fuck you gonna nut that fast? Like, I'm pissed off at you. You did bad, bro. You did not complete the mission. I'm pissed off. You wasted my time. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So I'm kicking him out, and he don't want to go. What? See you tomorrow or another week. I just gave you a hug.
Now, I know Just Jay said no shout out needed, but shout out to Just Jay with the $5 Cash App.
I'm getting rich.
Just Jay always showing support. Shout out to Just Jay. All right, so who stands behind this behavior? All of the women that were cooking Austin Holloman for being going across seas just to fuck, just to be immature and stupid, which killed all his talking points about American women. Now he needs to shut his bitch ass up forever about American women. But he pretty much walked himself into a corner and said, fuck it, I'm just doing me now. I'm just fucking these women. Y'all cooked him for that. Try to put a chastity belt on a man, say he can't be promiscuous at all. Meanwhile, cheering for Destiny, saying, oh, Destiny's not a cuck. He's one of the most promiscuous streamers out here. Cheering for Destiny. All right, so who's cheering for this? This woman kicking him out, putting it on air, talking about, oh, you only did 2 pumps, not satisfied, but airing this shit out for the clout. Who stands behind this? Put a 1 in the chat if this is deplorable, dusty behavior. Put a 2 in the chat if this is some shit that you stand behind and this is a good representation of the community. Let's see it. Let's see the numbers. We'll wait. Hey, yo, Grey Pill, what the hell is this, man? Keep it simple, bruh.
What the hell is that?
All right, so it's pretty much just all ones here. Nobody standing behind that. All right, we don't have a delusional mental gymnastics crowd coming out here. Bro, I said keep it simple. The man put 2 minus 1, and I said keep it simple. Like, what the hell am I on?
You're done.
Jesus Christ.
You want to sit there and stay on the weed?
I saw it in my own
Claimed lesbian.
Oh, shit, hold up. I'm using the wrong... Okay, I'm all over the place right now, man. Hold up, chat. I'm all over the place. I have all these different widgets and shit. I'm trying to update the show for 2024. I am butchering it. I'm doing all the wrong things right now. Hold up, chat. Now, I blame everything on the Kush. That ain't me. Shit, that ain't me, nigga. I ain't taking accountability.
You're a victim.
There we go, CSI.
Is a Stu Jackson.
All right, let's get into this.
Back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. I keep hearing about this lady, Princella Clark. And a lot of you brothers have told me about her. I guess now I'll have more time to focus in on who she is because of the death of the Cynthia G YouTube channel. So I guess in theory, I will have more time for that.
What?
But be it as it may, Princella Clark, as they have told me, is a self-proclaimed lesbian. A lesbian that is, if I'm not mistaken, she's a lesbian that is married to a man. Which she advocates women leaving men in starting relationships with women. I don't really think that men even care about that or are concerned with that, but I just think that because it is, because it's so shocking the way that she does it, it's people are more concerned about that. So, anyways, be it as it may, I want to, if I can, play this clip. She came on this podcast. So this podcast, I want to discuss if I can, and then we're gonna come back.
A man telling me that he's been married says nothing to me because marriage was made for men anyway. Marriage teaches women to tolerate a lot of trauma and dysfunction and put up with a lot of transgressions that men have.
What?
So a man being married for 20, 30, 40 years only tells me that the woman tolerated a lot of abuse, a lot of mental and emotional turmoil for him to even say he's been married that long. I would like to hear.
Understand the men hating sentiments from this woman right here, Princella. This is asinine. Now listen, did you not hear the introduction? Hold up, 8lady747. We're gonna deal with this comment right here. It doesn't matter what in the hell y'all saying on it's not we're not gonna do a whataboutism. We can deal with Oshay and break down Oshay's points after and the shit that he's done that you could look at and be like, this ain't it. But we're dealing with the subject matter at hand right now. And we're dealing with Princella. Princella has a lot of divisive talking points where she just disparages men and everything that they stand for. And if a man's with a woman for 30 years, that woman has gone through grueling fuckery because just being with a man is that detrimental to a woman's mental health and livelihood. Men are incapable of love, according to Princella. It's that damn bad. Wait, did somebody join the chat? Or is I missed a membership. I'm dissing today. Hold up. What did I miss? And why did it slide down the other screen so late? Okay, so shout out to Mr. Madhu Abichi.
I'm getting rich.
Struggled to say that name, but shout out to you for joining the chat pass. And who else did I miss? All right, we good. Let's get it.
Hear women speak all of the joys of being married for so long without the turmoil that comes with it.
So are you saying that relationships should not come with turmoil?
Well, it's gonna come with turmoil if you're dealing with a man. It's gonna come with it. And so women have to be taught to accept that and put up with it.
Now, does this not sound like the other side of the coin of the red pill manosphere talking points? They're just telling you, if you're in a relationship for any period of time, especially a long-term relationship, that it's going to be detrimental to your livelihood. That's pretty much the message from both sides. Is this not gender war shit? Is this not separating folks from getting together and loving each other? It's the same type of shit on the other side. So if we're going to deal with one side, and this is the problem. If y'all don't want me to react and speak on this, y'all don't want me to even respect women's talking points or women in the space at all. Because that's what it comes down to. And for a lot of the times, I didn't even respond to this shit because I didn't respect this shit. I'm like, y'all feed into this shit, y'all are absolute idiots. That's what I thought. Man, I didn't give a fuck. I did not give a fuck. A lot of shit that I look off and I wave it off. I'm like, this is idiocy. I'm not doing this. And if people want to argue it, they can do it, but they can do it themselves. Oh shit, am I missing super chats? Hey yo, what the hell is going on with me today? Let me slap this up on the screen. Shout out to I Love My Ad Block with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
So people are tripping and in their feelings over a confused hoe. Bye, Felicia. Jesus Christ, nigga, are you a woman? Why you speak like that, man? Hey, yo. But shout out to I Love My Ad Block with the $5 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
I have no idea who I Love My Ad Block is. He's been a member for a while. I think he or she changed their name. I don't know who any of y'all are. When y'all change your name, I'd be lost. But shout out to you with the $5 super chat.
Guys, you heard what she said here about marriage, what it teaches women. And I find that very interesting because she said, this is what happens when they're married to men. Notice she said that with men. And so the question I would have with Miss Princella Clark are, what are women expected to do in marriages in today's world? Because if you're going to make that statement, I want to know what women are expected to do now in marriage. Okay? Let's look at it, let's say a few days from now, or let's say this is 1960. 1960, my grandfather was 42 years old, the same age I am today. He met my grandmother a few years later, but he was married before that. Women at that time were supposed to be super subservient to their men in American culture, especially in the black community. A woman was supposed to cook. She's supposed to clean. She's supposed to do almost whatever the husband would tell her to do. Of course, you had arguing and things like that, but talking back and things like that's a no-no, right? Being a career woman, you're supposed to be a family woman, a church woman, and very community oriented. A man was supposed to be an extreme provider, especially since the American economy was doing good. Houses were cheap, opportunities were many, things like that, right?
For me, I hate the back in the day when things were like this talk. Let's deal with what we're dealing with in 2024. Let's stay up to date because everybody has their own theories on how things were back in the day. So I don't even like getting into those talks because then we're debating something in the past for what reason? What does that do for anybody? Who in the hell is Sprinkle Sprinkle?
This is what was expected at this particular time. Now, 2024, because we'll be there in a few days. Women are not expected to cook. Most guys are getting married today, understand and listen, your wife, if she doesn't want to cook, she doesn't want to cook. If she doesn't want to work out, okay? Your wife wants to take girl trips. That's no reason to leave her. She doesn't want to be submissive to you. That's also okay. All right? It's also okay. She doesn't have to do those things for you. In the 60s, woman doesn't want to have sex with her husband. Like, get out, right? Now, it's okay. It's okay. It is okay completely for women to be in sexless marriages, and now you have videos here on YouTube talking about, well, what do you want to do if your wife doesn't want to have, let's go to these counselor things. I say get rid of her immediately. Okay? Those games, get them out. But anyways, so women don't have to they don't have the same level of responsibility, but men do. If I were to get married today, I have the same responsibilities that my grandfather had in 2018. So what is women teaching these, what is marriage teaching these women to do? I don't get it. I know that
Shout out to I Love My Ad Block with the $10 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Now I'm getting used to this whole new system, so bear with me, folks. Things might be slightly delayed. Okay, so he says, I am he, formerly went by the name Jimmy James. I chose this new name to stick it to the man, YouTube, pause, because they've been shadow banning people. Yo, why am I reading this so terrible? It's right in front of me. I am he, formerly went by the name Jimmy James. I chose this. Wait, what the fuck is this? What the hell?
What the hell was that?
Hey, yo, what? All right, too much advancements in the stream. What is this emoji pop out? All right. I am a he, Formerly went by the name Jimmy James. I chose this new name to stick it to the man YouTube. Pause. Because they've been shadow banning people. So that's what he said. Sorry, I got thrown off by all. There's so much going on in my screens right now. Hold up, let me show y'all. This is insanity right now. I'm in over my head. I've done too much. That's why I'm reading like Floyd Mayweather. This happens to me very often, so there's no excuse. But hold up, chat. Shit, wrong screen. Let me add this motherfucker. Hold up, chat. We got a lot going on out here. We gotta turn this. Jesus Christ. All right, I can't actually get to the other screens because, you know what? This was a fail.
You want to sit there and stay on the weed? Who are you, Snoop Dogg in a green room? I mean, what the hell is going on?
Lady is very biased towards men, and I know she goes around losing all of these debates, but she needs to be serious because if marriage really favored men so much, what we're men, we would do what favors us. And there's just no evidence of men wanting to do something that just doesn't favor them that much. Men are not going around trying to get married at all. It's not what we're trying to do. It is a financial liability. Literally, you're taking care of somebody or something.
Now,
you're a victim. Here we go, CSI.
shout out to Oshay Duke Jackson, but Oshay is also a part of this gender war shit. Oshay has never left the manosphere. Oshay's talking points are still very manosphere-ish. It's still selling folks this, oh, marriage is a detriment to your livelihood and you're always going to be a victim and they're just taking advantage of you. You're going to get divorced. They're taking all your money. They're just they're a liability. They're not an asset. The same old talk. It's the same shit. So you could call out her talking points, but then you jump into the same talking points. So shout out to Oshay. He be putting out content and shit. He be putting out good content. But when it comes to this manosphere shit, a lot of his talking points lead to the bolstering all men, looking out for men. Even when he adds Austin Holloman to his videos, he's highlighting him in the best light possible. Even knowing the shit that he was going through, getting finessed by these women in Thailand.
That you feel is, I'm going to be honest when I say this, entitled. All right? A lot of guys would do better off not even putting that money there. You're spending your money every month on a person that is getting less and less appreciative of your works. Men know that. We get that. We understand that. And we know that's going to happen. Okay? There's no doubt about it that we know that's going to happen. We know it. We know it for what it is. All right? And you're trying to convince us that we don't know it for what it is, which is a lie, because we know it to be true that you don't really get that much out of marriage in today's time. So it just seems like you just want to get women to go to men.
So what are we doing here? If nobody's getting anything out of marriage, and that is the sentiments from both sides, the pro-black Oshay Duke Jackson, who says we're not getting nothing out of marriage, we shouldn't give it a chance, men are getting finessed. The bisexual Princella, who's not into men at all, that just talks down on men because she's not into us. Clearly, she's going to say negative things. But it's like, shout out to Stay Gold Radio, Brother Jumbie with the $10 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Damn. Shout out to Brother Jumbie. Brother Jumbie says, this brother cooking. Happy New Year, LTTV and chat. Smash the like button like single mom cheeks. Jesus Christ. You better smash that like button, man. Shout out to Brother Jumbie.
because that's what you want to do, although you're still married to a man. And again, the more you listen to these people, the more it doesn't make any sense. I know I'm confused just like you. I don't know.
You're confused because you're listening to a bisexual woman who is going the lesbian way and disparaging men. We're going to hear nothing but negativity from her. What is this shit? Hey, yo, okay, I'm a victim now. I'm getting, what the hell is going on?
You're a victim. There we go, CSI.
Let me turn that shit off because I don't want to see that shit again. That's throwing me the hell off. All right, what the hell was I saying? Jesus Christ. All right, let's get back into this.
What the talking about? But again, this is commonplace for a lot of ladies today on social media that are talking about things like this. This is not every lady, but this is not uncommon to hear. Things that men find not sensible. So guys, what do you think your boy should do, Jackson? Back at it again.
Now, Oshay could not take any offense to me calling him manosphere and always taking the man side or the man slant to everything and lamenting the man in the best possible spotlight. When there's this, his Patreon is Patreon/Negro Manosphere. So although he may have left the manosphere and is in the pro-black talking space, there's still a lot of manosphere talking points here. And there's a lot of things that it's slanted from the man's perspective. And that's all I'm out here trying to do. Give a objective analysis on the things that I see. I ain't out here trying to manosphere slant it, coddle the women's feelings to pander to women. That's not what we're doing out here. Sometimes the men will complain and cry when I'm taking the women's side, saying, oh, you're bolstering their talking points. You're working for them. You're pandering to women. And I'm like,
crying to me, and I'm not having that.
And then sometimes the women come in here and run a defense, and it's the same thing applies.
Crying to me, and I'm not having that.
It's like the sisterhood, the manosphere, the whole caping for individuals, regardless of the behavior. I'm not with that shit. I'm gonna call it out. Oh shit, I missed one. God damn it. Hold up. I missed the super chat. Yo, this shit is... There we go. Shout out to Jay Gray with the $2 super chat.
I'm getting rich.
Jay Gray says, pink pill hoes, aren't they grand? Pink pill hoes, aren't they grand? That's what they call them now? Pink pill hoes? It's not called the sisterhood, it's called pink pill hoes? Is that what it is?
Jesus Christ.
All right, man.
The episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Skirt the bell. We're out.
All right. I edited that out too quick, but what is this? This is some nasty work. What is this? I pointed this out before.
Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Skirt the bell. We're out.
Now.
Stop it. Get some help.
Oh, yes. The camera loves your nastiness.
Oshay, I'm going to shut the fuck up right now if these things are selling well. If your merch is selling well and you're getting rich off of this, then I'm going to shut my ass up right now. Pause.
I'm getting rich.
But what the hell is this, man? Black men are perfect shirts? So when people say you have a heavy slant and you're going to be tilted towards the men all the time, you have black men are perfect shirts, bro? What is this?
What the hell was that?
Shout out to Oshay, though. Oshay does put out a lot of work, a lot of content. He does good work. He has multiple platforms. He has a whole podcast, the Ken Gonda podcast, where he's uplifting folks in Uganda and Kenya. So shout out to Oshay. But this, man, what is this, man? This is filthy work out here. Why are we worried about shirts? Because I'm a hater, nigga. What the fuck?
Ever since college, I have always, every woman I have ever been in a relationship with, I have always paid all the bills. I have paid the rent, the bills. Now, I've had some very exceptional women in my life that have helped my businesses and helped me to achieve greater goals, and they've worked and everything else like that. But at no point did I ever say, okay, baby, you cover the slight bill,
Exactly.
and you know what I mean? Because people were getting on Tyler Perry for saying that. It was like, oh, Tyler Perry was like,
Nah, see, this is the thing, folks.
All the women out there, stop being so hard on your man.
Hold up. We're going to get into this. This is a very important discussion. This is the thing. The pearl shit, like this reaction is an important discussion. Not the shit I'm about to say. This is foolishness. But the pearl shirts, the women should not vote, them shits, I'm be hating on those. When folks say black men don't cheat, it's almost like a disrespect to black men. It's almost like you're saying it sarcastically, constantly, where it's like, oh, black men don't cheat, but really and truly we're out here just being dogs. It's like that's what it kind of implies when you have those dusty-ass shirts. So I don't fuck with certain things like that. I will be called a hater if I voice my displeasure. I don't really give a shit. It is what it is, man.
You know, you can cover the mortgage and he can pay the light bill. And I'm looking at this going like, oh, hell no.
Well, I love Tyler, but you can't wear a dress. He wore a dress for it. Come on. Maybe the one thing...
You can cover the light bill if you wear a dress. That's the evening point right there.
One time I was going through it, man. I was really going through it, right? Okay. And it wasn't going well for me. Mm-hmm. My wife told my daughters, and she'll tell you this, don't ask your father for nothing, he's really going through it. I said, don't you ever tell my daughters and my children they can't ask me for anything. Don't you make that presumption. That ain't yours to make. If they need something, I'll find a way to get it to them. You don't get to decide what it is that's too much for me. Because I'm a fucking man. Now, whatever that means to you or whatever problem you have with that, I cannot understand a man that lets a woman take care of him. Whatever that makes me is what it is. And women cannot inherently respect you.
Yeah.
My daddy said one thing. It's weird because I'm doing this interview.
And what we're dealing with right here, listen, everybody has the freedom to govern their own relationship, however they want to handle it. What you've seen in your past with the way your father treated your mother and the way Vlad's seen it, or how your mother treated your father, my bad, and it's because they both had to pay bills and work together or whatever, and that's what you surmise was the reason why. If that's your reason and you want to take care of everything, you don't want to deal with that level of disrespect because you have a level of leverage over the woman, where it's like, okay, if I have a problem with you, you can get the fuck out of here. This is my house. This is my X, Y, and Z. You don't put nothing into this type shit. If that's how you want to govern your relationship for your security and you want to be a benevolent leader like that, do your own thing. I'm not disparaging men. But we have to keep it a stack and realize that there's a level of jadedness from what they've seen from their parents go through. Because you're not going to be here as D.L. Hewley, as DJ Vlad, high-earning, rich, successful men, going to speak to the masses and say if your woman pays any bill or contributes to the household at all, she's going to disrespect you, and that's what comes with the territory. This is not the message that should be out there. Because normal people, that's the average person's life. They're paying bills, they're sharing stuff, they're working together. So, what that comes back down to is character. And that's what everybody wants to avoid and deflect. We see academics paying for absolutely everything, still getting disrespected by the women that he's dealing with, still getting his house robbed for $500,000, still getting rape accusations and all sorts of bullshit. Why? Because the character of the women and the character of Big Ack himself.
Big Ack is here now.
Dusting it up, acting a damn fool, thinking he could just cheat on these women and treat him like whatever, or treat them like whatever. So it comes down to the functionality of the relationship. Oh, he was just being disrespected because of X, Y. It's like, no, he pays for everything, but he's a piece of shit. He ain't treating them well, and they ain't treating him well either. So it's like, come on, man. We always want to look to one specific factor and have that propagated to the masses and have people indoctrinated on one little thing and be like, this is the commonality, this is what it was. But as we see at the end of their stories, DJ Vlad's father was disrespected by his mother to the point where it affected his relationship with his mother. His mother made more money than his father. Y'all probably don't understand because I'm speaking before the reaction. So let me shut the fuck up, actually.
Shut your bitch ass up before I get to talking shit about you.
And let's get into the reaction. And when you listen to the stories, the insight will make more sense.
Day after my father's birthday, and it's a weird thing. But he said never let a woman answer the door when bad news is not.
Okay, that's an interesting one. Okay.
Because in the end, if they have to make all the decisions and pay all the bills and do all the hard shit, what the fuck are you?
Yeah.
What are you? I'm not saying that's the way everybody has to be, but we're not traditional men. We're men in the classic sense, and I don't know what everybody else is.
I remember a woman told me that I was in a serious relationship with. She said, I wouldn't stay with a man unless he became a millionaire. And I remember at the time, I felt funny about it because I was really struggling, but I actually became a millionaire. And that echoed in my head because this was an important woman in my life. I found a way. Not to say that she was very serious about it or whatever, it was aspirational, right?
Or maybe it was something she saw in you.
Maybe it was something she saw.
But it wasn't
But it was like a certain man could say, oh, she's a money hungry, she's a gold digger. But I'm like, no, like she actually is willing to work with me to gain this. And we actually did it together at one point. And it was like, I feel like if you live off a woman, you're just a pimp.
You're absolutely fucking right.
Yeah, you're just a pimp.
I don't get it. Then you're her son. You're her son.
Yeah.
How the fuck am I paying? When this is, and she gonna get mad at me for saying this. I bought my wife a ring, a wedding ring, like an engagement ring, and I bought it at a store, and this motherfucker took it right back to another store and bought another ring from the Chain Reaction.
The Chain Reaction.
It was called the store. It's Chain Reactions in Cerritos.
Okay.
The ring I got her wasn't. And do you know that made me believe that I had to be worthy of it?
Yeah.
You have to be. There are things. There's a reason where people talk all this shit. It's a reason you can get a house cheaper somewhere else in here. It's a reason you can do it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a reason.
Where we live is expensive. But it's worth it.
To me. Look, motherfucker, if a state let you live there for free, that's like a club going there for free.
Yeah.
It's a reason shit costs. And the shit that is most resonant in your life that costs, the shit that makes you stretch, the shit that makes you do things you never imagined that you could do, are the things that are worth it.
Yeah.
So if you're having these debates, if a man can't provide and protect his woman, in my estimation, I don't know what the fuck he exists for.
Yeah, listen, I've done polls, and most men, I've asked whether men are okay with a woman making way more money than them, and like 80-90% said yes, and I'm like, all right, just a different class of man. It's not me. It hasn't been me. It's never.
You see that? 80-90% said yes. Vlad, the rich nigga lifestyle, the rich white dude lifestyle, the rich man lifestyle in general, high value earners, athletes, all of that, it's not the norm, it's not the average. So when y'all speak for the average people, y'all have to realize that you might be a little tapped out with the average person in today's day and age. People make assumptions because they have the platform and they have the microphone in front of them to speak for everybody, meanwhile not really being in tune with the average person thinks. I don't know if that poll is right, but we also know that most people do not want folks that are making nothing, that are complete financial liability, and they can be the high earners. So they have that's not the existence for most folks. There's a select few that want that.
Been me, I saw it in my own family where like my mom had the more stable job, my dad had his own company, and his money would always be going up.
Now listen to this. This is why I say they're jaded. Because this is an existence and this does happen, but this comes down to character. This has nothing to do with the finances. People always want to deflect and take this and extrapolate it onto the masses and be like, this is going to happen to everybody in everybody's life because I grew up where my mother was disrespecting my father and it's because she made money. It's like, whoa, slow down. Let's get into this, man.
Down and there's always be fights. And there was sort of a...
Whoa, pay the light bill only, some filthy work, but
respect thing that wasn't quite there up to the point of him dying. Like the amount of disrespect that I saw my mom give my dad during his final months on this earth is the reason why we don't have a
Do
relationship.
you know that that's you're telling my story right now?
Really?
My father died. Yesterday was his birthday.
Yeah.
My father died, and the way that my mother treated my father. I go to see my mother earlier in January of this year. My mother is at a hospital in a rich white area in a bed by herself. My father died and left her everything. She has her bills paid off. She has money in the bank that they never would have had. And the way she treated him makes me not be able to see her.
Yeah.
Now that isn't.
It makes me go through the same thing right now.
It makes me see her.
Yeah.
I don't want to be angry with you, but I watch this man give you everything.
All right, so we got these Princella gender war fools in the chat. So yep, whenever y'all see them, clap those booty cheeks in the chat, y'all.
Booty clap yourself. Oh my God. You're a victim. There we go, CSI.
Yeah, man. We ain't having that.
Hey, put him in a fucking bedroom.
Now that isn't.
It makes me go through the same thing right now.
It makes me see her.
Yeah.
I don't want to be angry with you, but I watched this man give you everything, and you didn't. Or from my estimation, I will never see you. And then you cried when he died, and it was so insulting to me. I can't reconcile it in my mind.
Yeah, I don't even call her mom anymore. I call her Allah.
Well, I have to call
you know
her
what I mean? Because I don't. Yeah, I mean, listen. I remember this one time my dad was in the hospital, and he told me how my mother came in with these stack of bills.
He doesn't even call his mother mom anymore. He calls her by her first name. He calls her by the government name. That's how you know the relationship is damaged. So what y'all missed was one of Princella's fans. You can tell by the emoticon that they have. They're that's what I'm telling you. It's a whole damn cult. They all share the same emoticon. They all have it in their screens, in their profiles. She was talking spicy in the chat, trying to turn this into some gender war. These men this, these men that. So I had to time that out real quick. If y'all see these idiots in the chat, man, we don't have time for them. Be stuck in your indoctrination cycle in your cult over there. We don't have time for that.
Medical bills that stressed him out so bad that he tried to get out of his bed. And once we looked into it, they weren't even bills. The insurance covered everything. But she brought this to him during his final days to mess with him, to the point where he tried to get out of bed, and he has Parkinson's. You know what I'm saying? So it was.
He knew what.
It was so ugly that.
Yeah. When my father was
upsets me just talking about it.
He was in little company Mary. He was sick. Now my father, my mother, my father's. My sister's not his. I'm not his. My other sister's not his. My brother is his. But I was born to him.
Now, before we get into this, because I have to speak about this, this is a very fucked up situation with D.L. Hewley's situation. But we can clearly see Vlad is dealing with some
emotional damage.
Because as you look at your parents' relationship and you now look at the way she treated. You look at the way your mother treated your father. It affected your relationship so much with your mother off of their relationship that you call her by your first name. A lot of folks will call that mommy issues. And you take the damage from their relationship and extrapolate it on the population at large, and that governs the way you maneuver with women. You have to be the high earner. You have to be the person taking care of all the bills. You have to be the provider, so you would uphold the respect instead of choosing somebody with some sort of character that won't do that regardless. Like, why do they have to have their ass wiped for them, a free shot to do nothing on the planet, be a lazy motherfucker just for a little bit of respect? What the hell is going on out here? That's bad character. You're heavily jaded. You're heavily damaged from your childhood. It is not excusing the behavior from your mother and how she treated your father, but that's their relationship, nigga. What the hell?
1, 2, 3.
I've not ever looked at my mother and father's relationship and been like, yo, this is how I'm gonna govern my life and be damaged because what the hell are we doing, man?
in a different era. Get over it. Whoa!
When my father was sick in the hospital, it wasn't even low comfort marriage. My sisters were fighting with the doctors about the treatment my father would get.
Yeah.
And my mother said they shouldn't be able to talk to him. They're not his real kids anyway. And he heard her say it. It broke my fucking heart for him.
Yeah.
It is the reason I see people the way I do.
Yeah.
This is the true story. When you're not sure if your mother ever loved you, then anybody else loving you is a debate. It's a jump ball at best.
Yeah.
It's something I wish that I could accept.
Now, because of the issues he's seen with his father, he questions if his mother loves him. Hold on, I missed the part where he was talking about the relationship with himself and his mother and where she didn't love him at. I missed that part. Let me pull this back slightly. And this is the point of everything. This is what we do it for. This is why we destroy the gender war and we say fuck all that shit. Fuck the manosphere and their dusty talking points where they're just complaining aimlessly, and fuck the sisterhood when they just want to disparage men recklessly and just hold women unaccountable for everything they do. Somebody in the chat just said this. Chronic Introvert says, as much as... Oh, let me pull this away from me so I can see this. As much as my girl annoys the shit out of me, this makes me want to go give her a hug. LOL. This type of shit makes you appreciate your woman and brings you closer to your woman. That's mission complete, my nigga. That's mission complete. What are we doing out here?
This is the true story. When you're not sure if your mother ever loved you, then anybody else loving you is it is not his real kids anyway. And he heard her say it.
Hold up. This is what it was.
With the doctors about the treatment my father would get.
Yeah.
And my mother said they shouldn't be able to talk to him. They're not his real kids anyway. And he heard her say it. It broke my fucking heart for him.
Yeah.
It is the reason I see people the way I do.
Yeah.
This is the true story. When you're not sure if your mother...
You hear that? It's the reason he sees people the way he does.
Emotional damage.
It's fucked up. I'm not making light of it, but this is the thing when it comes to human beings and damage. The damage is not your fault. You don't ever have to internalize it like it's your fault. That'll get in the way of the healing. But it's your responsibility to heal yourself, especially as an adult and traverse the planet as a healed, fully abled adult that's not damaging other people and propagating negative thoughts by extrapolating your experiences on the masses. Sometimes it's like you gotta kind of understand where you're a little jaded and relax. So it's a fucked up situation, but you gotta heal and move on.
They ever love you, then anybody else loving you is a debate. It's a jump ball at best.
Yeah.
It's something I wish that I could accept, but I don't necessarily need. I can thrive, and that's horrible to the people around you. When you see a man, like I hold him here, and watch what you did to him.
Yeah.
And now I gotta pretend like I don't know it. And the thing about it is, now my mother is struggling with dementia, and the first signs of dementia.
See, this is the problem when you idolize your parents as well. You don't think that they're susceptible to any negative behaviors or treatments in a relationship. You held your dad to such a high esteem, but apparently he didn't hold himself high enough in that esteem, or maybe he was just taking one for the team, as in the family, doing the man's duty in the family to take care of the family, make sure everybody's okay, well, everybody grows up, that's they're taken care of. But a lot of the time, that's more detrimental to the childhood of the person. When it comes down to, oh, you want to see people raised in a two-parent household, if it is an unhealthy relationship, an abusive, it's not abusive physically, but that sounds like a verbally abusive relationship, the way they held on to this trauma and pain, that's detrimental to a child's upbringing. So at that point, you might as well sever ties, and it's better for your children. They want to cling on to this shit and tell people to endure. It's like, whoa, my nigga, we ain't enduring shit.
Stop the cap.
We ain't doing none of that. The hell are we talking about? The only people that endure are on...
Who was on crack?
Shout out to whoever just super chatted me. Let's see where that super chat is. I'm all over the place today. Let's get it. What was that?
I'm getting rich.
Shout out to Super Harare. Super Harare says this. Hold on, let me put this on the screen. Super Harare says this is important. It explains a lot of behavior. It does. A lot of the times people act out from woundedness. They're literally damaged, and they propagate thoughts on other people. I like the fact that these guys give a background story and insight to what they've dealt with. So it's not like, oh, I'm just purporting this, oh, men should be paying for X, Y, and Z. They're showing where their damage is and what made them have this disposition in the first place. So shout out to them for actually having the conversation, because these conversations are important.
Being evil. And I'm like, my brother, like, I think she got dementia. I'm like, nigga, I think it's Saturday. Like, how can I tell if? And it's the things that, but the one thing I will say that I can't take away from anybody. My brothers and sisters have a different estimation of where they were raised, and they had a different experience. And because I see things the way I do, I get this. So I would rather have a shitty first half and a great second one.
Yeah.
I gotta pretend like I don't know it. And the thing they were raised. Like, how do you need? I can thrive. And that I do.
Yeah.
This is the true story. When you're not sure if your mother ever loved you, then anybody else in the hospital. There wasn't a little company married.
Shit, my bad. I'm just looking for the part where he says that his father took care of everything, and she had, it was in the preview. Hold up, Chad.
Kids anyway. And he heard her say it.
So a man being
not be able to see her. She has her bills paid off. She has money in the bank that they never would have had. And the way she treated him makes me not be able to see her.
So he said that he had the same experience as Vlad, but that's incorrect. Because Vlad's mother was a stable working, she had a job, she had a stable job. His father was an entrepreneur handling his own business, so his money was influx, it was up and down. She treated him like shit. Vlad pretty much suggested that the reason why he was treated like shit is because of the money and the imbalance and the fact that she was putting towards an excess amount of money over his father, so she felt like she had the grounds to pretty much disparage him, treat him like he's lesser because she makes more money, and it was a money issue where he was not able to have a respect. And Vlad surmised that if a man doesn't make a certain amount of money or more than his woman, that she's not going to give him respect, and it has everything to do with money. But by the end of D.L. Hewley's life, or his father's life, his father paid for everything, had her well-to-do, had all the kids taken care of. Still no respect. So a lot of the times in the conversations in the red pill and in the manosphere, it all comes down to dweebs that didn't have any success with women in high school or college that make money later and think that they can just use their money as leverage over women to control relationships because that's what they think is going to happen. And when you hear talking points like, oh, you're not going to get any respect from your woman if you're not paying for everything, and you have people that are damaged from damaged experience propagating that message, a lot of people internalize it and be like, hey, I'm not taking this disrespect. Nobody wants to be disrespected by their woman when they're putting in their hard work for the woman. Nobody wants that. No woman wants to be disrespected by their man. No man wants to be disrespected by the woman. Nobody wants an adversarial relationship. People want to love each other. So people are trying to fix that, and what they do is go straight to the money. The money solves the problem, and really, truly, it comes down to vetting for character, because we could lament relationship after relationship where the man pays for all the bills, and if he chooses a woman that doesn't have the correct character, or it doesn't have the correct character himself, like DJ Academics, then he's going to live with those problems. Because Academics be paying for everything, and he still has those problems. Shout out to Oshay Duke Jackson with the 60,000 Ugandan bucks.
I'm getting rich.
Oshay Duke Jackson says, that picture of me on the thumbnail should be seen in every black household, pointing at these Negroes. What the hell? Yo, that is the most Googleable picture of you, Oshay. It's the easiest one to find. I stole half of that thumbnail from you. It is what it is. If I didn't confess it, someone would have snitched on me anyway.
I've seen him do it.
Shout out to Oshay Duke Jackson. Panels are open, chat. Panel, the link is in the top of the chat. It is pinned. There is nothing left in this reaction. We are pretty much done here. Shout out to the new show features. They had me lost for a while. This turned into a struggle stream. First stream of the year turned into quite a struggle stream. I don't know if it looked like that to y'all, but for me, I had my hands full, man. Pause. All right, what do we got here? Shout out to Pebbles for sharing the links. If y'all want to have the discussion and speak about these relationship issues, speak about folks that are just speaking in talking points, the other half of the red pill, the sisterhood. If you want to speak about that, anybody have any? Because y'all been talking in the Discord. Oshay's in the chat right now. Y'all can get off what y'all want to say to Oshay. Y'all had your points for Oshay. I know y'all in the chat. I was highlighting some of these points. Y'all can speak now. Don't gotta use me as a mouthpiece to speak to this nigga. Y'all here right now. Yeah, man, everybody's getting it. Chat's getting cooked. Random's getting cooked. It is what it is, man. Everybody can get cooked out here. Everybody's being held accountable to their rhetoric. Everybody, man. If you keep calling in, cam up, bro. All right, this is the end of the show. We got a lot more to react to. I'm just being trolled in the back. People like to waste my time. Shout out to everybody that hit that like button. Shout out to everybody that subscribed. The password to join is test. It is test capital. Oh, so now my mouse wants to work. This motherfucking computer left me handicapped the most of the goddamn stream. Now this shit wants to kick in, goddamn. Holy. Yeah, shout out to everybody. If y'all want to call in, y'all still have some seconds to call in, speak your matter on the topic, speak about the red pill, the manosphere, the pink pill, the sisterhood, adversarial relationships, what we can do to actually have give people faith in that these relationships are prosperous. Because the problem is that people that are happy in relationships, they don't want to be bothered with any of these folks on the internet. They don't want the attention of putting out what they do to make sure that they have a healthy and prosperous relationship. They don't want no smoke. They don't want no problems. They don't want people trying to hate on their relationship and find little things to make a mess of their relationship and nitpick. So a lot of the folks that are happy in relationships, they stray away from these conversations. Unless you're making money off of it, of course, and then we out here.
I'm getting rich.
But the inception to actually build a platform, that was probably the wrong word I should have used. The groundwork. Folks don't want to do the groundwork. Oh, somebody called in. This is hold on, let me fix my camera real quick. Alright. Oh shit, niggas blocked by a whole screen. All right, shout out to Super Harare by hitting that call in button. Shout out to you. Super Harare by hitting that you have the play on. I think you still have you have the playback on, so I think I'm gonna hear some echo. I'm gonna hear myself type shit. I think you gotta turn off the YouTube. You good now? My nigga, change your name too. What is going on here? I want to fix that shit for you, my nigga. What the hell?
Okay.
Putting the name as test. What are we doing, bro? How do you spell your name again? It's her.
Super Harare.
All right. Hold on. Yeah, let me. Is that correct? Is that how it's spelled? Do you see it? Can you see it?
Where?
You can't see it on your screen at the bottom? All right, so this is what we're going to do, bro.
No, I can see. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, you're good?
That's
All right,
correct.
so what do you guys say on the topic, man?
No, I wanted to just give a different experience from what these brothers were talking about. You know, my mother took care of my father. I was already born by that time. My father was into sales, but he went to law school, and my mother was a teacher at that time, and she took care of the family for some years. You know how it is with law school. And at the end, my father became a judge. So what you said is about character. You have to pick the right person who will help you, who will stand by you, who will help you with your vision.
Yep.
It's not all about if you lead with money. I've heard people being advised, especially those in the manosphere. They think that if they get money, then they get the people they want. If you lead with money, then the relationship is about money.
Yep, they're gonna want you for money. They're gonna only see the value in your money if all you do is lead with your money. That's absolutely fact.
Exactly. So sometimes people, it's not a new thing. It's not. I don't know. Maybe in the States it's a new thing, but around the world we've been helping each other, husband and wife helping each other to take care of the family, because it's not always easy for one person to take care of everything. So we have to get away from that mindset that you need to have the money to get respect. If somebody is disrespectful, then they're disrespectful.
Yep, that is fact.
It doesn't matter how much money you have and how much you do for them, you will still be disrespected. I remember there was something in one of the last shows when you say Alex Ellison and his friend, the girls they were taking care of, they were laughing at them in their own language.
Yeah, Austin Holloman and when they were in Thailand, right?
You see, so it doesn't matter what you do for people. It depends on who you're dealing with. It's not about what you can do for them. It's about who they are.
I'm getting rich.
But anyway, that's all I had to say about that issue.
It's true too. And the thing is, a lot of folks think because they bring in money to the table, they're gonna get a level of submission and nice treatment from their woman while not treating them well as well. So they're cheating on them. They're doing whatever they want to do. They're shouting from their platform, talking about they're the prize, and it's like
that also is a poisonous ideology. To tell people that you are the prize because you have the money, you're allowed to do anything. You don't cheat, you exercise your options. I've heard that statement and I was like,
it's not gonna go well for you. It's unless you spoke into the woman up front and be like, listen, this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna be exercising my options. You have to be okay with that. And if she's okay with that up front, then you're winning like that, and you have it that way. But if you don't establish that off the gates, then even when you do have it established, she's gonna try to change it. We've seen that with Michael Blackson and his woman. They went on reality shows, and all of a sudden she wanted to close the relationship because it was open on his end, closed on hers. And these are the outliers. These are like the super famous rich people. These aren't conversations for the masses anyway. But when they actually have it, it doesn't go so swimmingly like they think it's gonna go, just because they have some money.
And on that point also, like, there's something important that you said, like, we cannot judge these ultra-rich people as the standard. They cannot speak for the rest of us. They cannot speak for the common man.
It's fact.
Because their lifestyle is not even normal. It's not standard. So they cannot speak about how the rest of us should conduct ourselves. It's very, it's out of the mind. It's not correct.
Yep.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about, like, you have to think about the person you're dealing with.
Yep. I think
And
relationships are really about common interest. It's really about folks working together to love each other with good characters. It's not about, oh, I have money, I can do this, I can leverage this on you to make you act right. It's like, no, if you don't have the character to act right, there's no level of leverage that you're gonna have a woman be compliant, and vice versa for a man to be compliant for a woman. That type of leverage, type of strong arm relationship, that always goes left. We see it time and time again. We're seeing it going left with the passport bros. A lot of them are being looked at as licks out there because they're like, okay, we got money. We can exercise our options out here. I can take this girl grocery shopping. That's going to change her entire month, and I'm getting these cheeks, and I'm going to fuck these other girls. They all think that until they're getting finessed. They're getting robbed. They're getting that scolopamine. It's not looking good for folks. So it's like, folks got to stop trying to exercise power on other folks.
Yeah, it will become a game of chess because you are dealing with another person. They have got their own mind. They're not just going to get shit on while they watch you shitting on them. They're also going to be scheming on you. If you want to exercise so much power on another person, unless there is something terribly wrong with them, they're also going to be wondering, like, how can I be treated like this? If they stick around, I swear they'll be scheming on you.
I think a lot of it stems from damage in childhood, upbringing, or even in relationships. A lot of trauma where people just want to get into a position to exercise power on others and authority because they've been done that way, or they don't want it to happen to them to a point where they're just exercising it on everybody else. But shout out to Lee. I didn't shout out Lee for this $2 super chat. Lee says, get the likes up, please. Yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. Get these likes up, please, y'all.
Respect LT. That's all I wanted to say. That remind people that we're all human beings. Be careful.
That is
Be careful of who you're dealing with.
Sorry for cutting you off, but that is the major point that I think a lot of folks forget in these conversations when it's man versus woman. We sometimes we forget that we are all human beings, and human beings are going to be subjected to human behavior. So people are going to be human. They're going to be rational at some points. They're going to be illogical. They're going to be emotional. They're going to be reactive. People aren't going to be wanted to be treated like cattle. So yeah, that whole leading with money, trying to dominate people, that's not really going to happen.
No. Thanks, man.
Yeah, shout out to you for calling.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, bro.
Thanks.
All right, peace. Shout out to Super Harari for calling in. Shout out to everybody that hit that super chat. Shout out to everybody that hit that Cash App. Shout out to everybody that hit that like button. That goes a long way. We want to get to some more topics. This was a good discussion though. Shout out to everybody that participated. We're gonna wrap this show up though. We out. Yeah.